I'm Vanessa Cook and I live at Stillingfleet Lodge Garden, and we run a garden that's open to the public, and we have a nursery where we grow lots of interesting plants. I'm sitting at the moment in the front garden, which was the first bit of the garden that we ever developed. When we bought the house in 1975, it was a very run-down house in a grass field. There were no trees here at all, and there was certainly no garden. And for the first year, we lived in a caravan, we did up the house, and we planted a shelter belt, which we now grandly call the woodland walk, but actually it's the one thing that protects us from the very strong west winds and allows us to have a garden here at all. To begin with, for the first 10 years we were here, we were the good life, I think. We had a house cow, we had pigs, we had sheep, we had chickens and geese, and we grew all our own vegetables, and we certainly didn't have a garden. And we wanted to bring up our children to realise how important it was to be organic. And for 50 years we've been here, we have been totally organic. We're very lucky because we have chickens in the garden, so when people come around the garden they say, how can you possibly be organic when all your hostas haven't got holes in them? Well, that's because we've got guinea fowl and chickens all over the garden, and they're my slug pellets, I think. Since the first 10 years we were here, from then I went to Aston and did my 3 years horticulture, and then I started a very small nursery which seemed to get bigger and bigger unexpectedly, and we then started developing the garden so that I had more plants from which to grow plants to sell in the nursery, because here we buy in very, very little plants. Nearly all of it is grown from plants we have got growing here, which means if you come to look at the garden, you can see a plant in the garden, you can go to the nursery and you can buy it. And if it's pouring with rain, you can go in the cafe and have wonderful homemade cakes, very good coffee, and have a lovely time just having a peaceful, tranquil time in a typical English country garden.